Good morning, children. Now today we'll talk about torque on a current carrying coil placed in a magnetic field. Torque on a current carrying coil in magnetic field. See, torque, you know what is torque? Torque is the rotatory effect produced by a couple. And what is a couple? Couple is a combination of two forces which are equal and opposite, and their line of action is different. Like when we open the cap of a bottle. This you have done in class 11th also. Now we'll first keep a current carrying coil in magnetic field. For providing magnetic field, I'll take two magnets like this. So the direction of magnetic field will be this. Now place a current carrying coil. Here I am taking current carrying coil as rectangular in shape. Later on we'll see that the shape of the coil doesn't matter. It is the area of the coil which is going to matter. Let the current is carried in this direction. We can take it as P, Q, R, S. Now we know that whenever a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it is going to feel a force. Whenever a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it is going to feel a force. As far as direction of force is concerned, you have done it in class 10th also. That is, using Fleming's left hand rule, I can find out the direction of force. As far as the magnitude is concerned, this we have done in class 12th, and the formula for finding out the force is B I L, where if the conductor's length is L, in which current flowing is I, and it is placed in a magnetic field B perpendicular to the current carrying conductor, then force experienced is B I L. Now see here, we can see now this can be treated as a combination of four current carrying straight conductors: PQ, QR, RS and SP. Now for finding out the direction of force on these four arms, I first must know about the magnetic field, the direction of magnetic field. See, the direction of magnetic field, if I take one point on all the axes, I'll take say one point on each axis. This will be the direction of magnetic field. Here this will be the direction of magnetic field. Here this will be the direction of magnetic field. This will be the direction of magnetic field, because magnetic field lines will move from north to south. Let us draw a normal to the plane of the coil and let it make an angle theta with the magnetic field. I can also take an angle with the plane of the coil. If I take it with the plane of the coil, you can take it as say alpha. Alright. Now we'll again come back to this. F is equals to BIL. As far as the force is concerned, I require magnetic field, I already have. I require current, I know the current I is flowing. I require the length. I can take the length of this side as B and this side as L. Let the force experienced by this arm is say F1. I'll find out the direction of force using Fleming's left hand rule, and what you will get is the direction of force will come out like this. Here the direction of force will come out like this. Now this is applicable for each and every point. I am taking only one point at one place. Because now the current is flowing through the whole conductor, it is being applicable at each and every point. The total force like this, the total force like this. Now come to these two. Now the magnetic field, the force direction will be like this here. And like this here. F4 and F3. It is somewhat like this, that if this is the coil, then one force is like this, another force is like this, one force is like this, and another force is like this. You can see these are equal and opposite, and line of action is same. But here the force is like this. So how it will do? It is going to rotate like this. Alright, and if one is like this and other is like this, it will rotate like this depending upon the direction of force. So these two forces F1 and F2 equal and opposite. Line of action is same. Therefore, they will cancel out each other. As far as the magnitude is concerned, it will come out to be F is equals to BIB. Because the length is taken as B, this side length. Now come to F3 and F4. Now F3 will be equal to now BIL. F4 will also be equal to BIL. But as a line of action are not same, this F3 and F4 will form a couple. And couple will give rise to rotatory effect, which can be measured in terms of torque. Now, how to find out the value of torque? Now, torque will be either force multiplied by the perpendicular distance between the two forces. As far as magnitude of force is concerned, this is the value. Now I have to find out perpendicular distance between the two forces. For that, what I'll do, if suppose this is the coil, I'll take only the upper line, because now along whole line the force is being acting. So I'll take only one point. It will be very clear if I take only the upper line. See, I'll take only the upper line. Now this is one force, say F3, and another force will be F4. Now I have to find out the perpendicular distance between these two forces. So either I extend this to this side or I extend it to this side. This is going to give me the perpendicular distance. You can take it, say, A, R. So tau will be equal to either force BIL into A, R. Now this is 90 degree. This angle will be theta. So this is going to give me B sine theta. I know this value. This is B. This length is B. I already know theta. So using trigonometric ratio, I'll get this value as b sine theta. So I can, in place of AR, I'll write down B I L into B sine theta. This can be further written as BIA, where A is area of the rectangular loop. A is area of rectangular loop. Now you can see the shape of the coil doesn't matter, it is the area which is going to matter. If the number of turns are more, like if it is not a single turn coil, if you are having n number of turns, then my tau will become N B I A sine theta. Now I can write down it in vector notation because this is a vector quantity. So torque is written as N if it is already there, so you can take it as N. If it is a single term, don't need N. I A cross B. See what is A cross B? It is AB sine theta. AB sine theta. I is already there. So this is in vector notation. Now this IA is magnetic moment of a magnetic dipole. See, as we have electric dipole, we do have a magnetic dipole. A magnet itself is a magnetic dipole. Alright, and magnetic dipole moment is strength of either of the poles multiplied by the length of the magnet or magnetic length. So vector M will be equal to IA. This M is magnetic moment, as do we have electric dipole moment. In the same manner, magnetic dipole moment or magnetic moment. Alright. So M is, so this can also be written as tau is equals to N M cross B. And from the expression itself, you can see that tau will be perpendicular to M, as well as tau will be perpendicular to B. ठीक है? Tau will be perpendicular to M, tau will be perpendicular to B. One more thing which you have to see is now special cases. Special cases. Now here you can find out that when theta is equals to 0, tau will be minimum. When theta is equal to 90 degree, tau will be maximum. One more thing is that if this angle is not given as theta between the perpendicular or to the plane of the coil and magnetic field, if this angle is given alpha, if this angle is given alpha, then this angle will become 90 degree minus alpha. So here it will become BIA sine 90 degree minus alpha. This is going to give me BIA cos alpha. So this much you will do today. We'll be using the same concept tomorrow when I'll talk about working of a moving coil galvanometer, which is used for measuring small currents. Thank you.